Most people believe compounding is quietly working in their favor right now. It's not. In fact, for most people, compounding is actively working against them, and they have no idea. If you're over 40 and you've been putting money away, watching your account, waiting for the moment it starts to feel real, and it hasn't yet, you're not behind because you started late. You're behind because nobody told you about the phase compounding goes through before it works. The phase where it feels like it's destroying you. That phase has a name. I call it the 3-7-10 rule. Welcome to part 1 of the Compounding Rules series, where we uncover the principles that quietly build wealth over time. And once you understand the framework, everything changes. Studies show that 80% of people who start investing quit within the first 3 years. Not because they ran out of money, because compounding felt like it wasn't working. And they were right, it wasn't. Not yet. And that not yet is the most expensive moment in personal finance. Because the people who quit at that moment don't just lose their investment. They lose the only thing compounding actually needs: time. Stop for a moment. Think about what that means. The majority of people quit right before the mechanism kicks in, not because they were wrong, because they didn't know what they were looking at. That's what this video is about. The 3-7-10 rule, the phase nobody talks about, and what to do when you're inside it. Stay with me, because the next few minutes are exactly why you came here. Here's what most financial content gets wrong. They treat your wealth problem as a math problem. Not enough income, not enough savings rate, not enough return on investment. Fix the numbers, fix the problem. That's not it. Your wealth problem, especially if you're over 40, is not a math problem. It's a design problem. It's an architecture problem. And those two things require completely different solutions. A math problem says earn more, save more, invest more. An architecture problem says, where are you placing what you already have, in what order, at what time? And are you building something that survives your worst months, not just your best ones? Think about that. Most people are trying to solve architecture with arithmetic. They're adjusting numbers inside a structure that was never built to compound in the first place. And then they wonder why nothing accelerates. Not math, architecture. The 3-7-10 rule is an architectural tool. It tells you exactly where you are inside the compounding timeline and why the phase you're in right now feels the way it does. It doesn't ask you to earn more. It asks you to understand the structure you're building inside. Let me be direct about that. The problem is almost never the amount. It's the architecture. The 3-7-10 rule begins here. Phase 1. The first 3 years. Rule number 1. The destruction phase. In the first 3 years of any compounding strategy, the math works against your emotions. Here's what that means in real numbers. You invest $500 a month starting at age 43. At 7% average annual return, a conservative, realistic number, after year 1, you have roughly $6,200. You put in $6,000. You made $200. $200. After 1 full year of discipline, sacrifice, consistency, $200. Year 2, you have about $12,900. You've put in $12,000. You're up $900. Year 3, roughly $2,100. You've contributed $18,000. You're up $2,100. My friend, that is the destruction phase. Not because you're losing money, because the gap between what you're putting in and what you're getting back feels insulting. It feels like the effort isn't worth it. It feels like the system is broken. That's the trap. That feeling, that completely rational, completely understandable feeling, is the exact moment 80% of people walk away. And the moment they walk away, compounding stops. Permanently. Because you can't restart the clock. The destruction phase isn't a flaw in the system. It is the system. It is the price of entry for everything that comes after. And if you don't know you're paying it, you quit. Before we go further, I want to ask you something. Drop a number in the comments. How old were you when you seriously, not casually, not I should probably, but seriously started thinking about building wealth? Not when you opened your first account. Not when you read a book. When it became real to you. When you felt the urgency. Drop that number below. Because what comes next in this video is going to land very differently depending on where you are in the 3 to 7, 10 timeline. And I want you to know which phase you're in before we get there. Rule number 2, the acceleration phase. Between years 3 and 7, compounding shifts from enemy to engine, but only if you stayed. Back to our example. Same person, $500 a month, 7% return, starting at 43. By year 4, $27,600. You've contributed $24,000. Gap, $3,600. By year 5, $35,600. Contributed $30,000. Gap, $5,600. By year 6, $44,200. Contributed $36,000. Gap, $8,200. By year 7, $53,400. Contributed $42,000. Gap, $11,400. Do you see what's happening? The gap is starting to accelerate. You're not just earning on your contributions anymore. You're earning on your earnings. The interest is compounding the interest. The engine is starting. But here's what makes this phase dangerous in a different way. Because you stayed through the destruction phase, you feel confident. You understand the system now. And that confidence makes some people do something that kills the momentum entirely. They touch it. They rebalance aggressively. They shift strategies because they read something new. They pull money out for something that feels urgent. That's the trap. The acceleration phase requires the same discipline as the destruction phase, but for the opposite reason. Not patience because nothing is happening. Patience because something is finally happening and you don't want to interrupt it. Think about that. The two most dangerous moments in compounding are when it's not working and when it just started working. Rule number 3, the invisible multiplier. The compounding happening inside your account right now is larger than the number you can see. This is the mechanism most people never see, and it's the most important one. When you look at your balance, you see a number. Let's say $44,000 at year 6 in our example. What you don't see is the compounding that number is generating on every future contribution you haven't made yet. Here's what that means. The $500 you invest at age 43 has roughly 22 years to compound before you reach 65. At 7%, that single $500 contribution becomes approximately $2,100. But the $500 you invest at age 49, 6 years later, only has 16 years. It becomes roughly $1,400. Same amount, same discipline, completely different outcome because of when it entered the system. Think about that. Every month you stay in the destruction phase and don't quit. You are protecting the multiplier on every future dollar you will ever invest. Every month you quit early, you are permanently reducing the ceiling of your wealth, not just delaying it. The invisible multiplier doesn't show up on your statement. It shows up at 65. And the people who understood it in their 40s are the ones who look back and say, I don't know how it happened. It just kept growing. It didn't just happen. It was the architecture. Quick pause. If you're watching this and realizing you need a system to actually track where you are in the 3, 7, 10 timeline, we built one. The Trip to Wealth Financial Google Sheet dashboard. It's in the description below. It shows you your current compounding phase, your projected gap at each year, and exactly how much your invisible multiplier is worth right now based on your age and contributions. It's not a course. It's not a coaching program. It's a tool, a spreadsheet with 2 practical ebooks for mindset, investing strategy, and long-term money organization if you go for the full system. Link is below. Now, let's talk about what happens when you reach year 7. Everything I've shown you so far is diagnosis, the destruction phase, the acceleration phase, the invisible multiplier. That's the map. But a map doesn't move you. A decision does. Here's what separates the people who reach the 10-year mark from the people who don't. It's not income. It's not investment knowledge. It's not even discipline in the traditional sense. It's the moment they stopped treating wealth like something that happens to them and started treating it like something they are building. Deliberately. With a structure, with a timeline, with an understanding of which phase they're in and what that phase requires from them. Not knowledge, decision. You can watch every financial video ever made. You can read every book. You can understand compound interest at a mathematical level and still quit in year 2 because you didn't recognize the destruction phase when you were inside it. The decision isn't, I will invest. The decision is, I understand what I'm building, I know what phase I'm in, and I will not mistake the process for a problem. That's the entire playbook. Everything else, the accounts, the percentages, the strategies, those are details inside a structure that either holds or doesn't. Let's talk about what happens at year 10, because this is where it becomes irreversible. Rule number 4, the 10-year threshold. At year 10, compounding crosses a line it never crosses back. Back to our numbers. $500 a month, 7% return, starting at 43, age 53 now. Year 10 balance, approximately $86,900. You've contributed $60,000. The gap is $26,900. But look at what's happening to that gap year by year now. Year 11, $101,400. Gap, $35,400. Year 12, $116,900. Gap, $46,900. Year 13, $133,700. Gap, $58,700. The gap is growing faster than your contributions. You are now making more from compounding in a single year than you are putting in manually. Your money is working harder than you are. My friend, that is the threshold. That is the line. Once you cross it, the architecture becomes self-sustaining. It doesn't need you to be perfect anymore. It needs you to not destroy it. That's a completely different problem, and it's a much easier one. But here's the over-monitoring trap that kills people right at this stage. Because the numbers are finally moving in a way that feels real, people start checking daily. They react to every market dip. They make micro-adjustments. They let short-term noise interrupt a long-term structure that is working exactly as designed. Stop for a moment. At year 10, your job is not to optimize. Your job is to protect. The architecture is running. Get out of the way. Built with intention. One more question before we finish. Did anything shift for you in this video? Not intellectually, emotionally. Did you recognize which phase you're in? Did the destruction phase suddenly make sense? Did you realize you might have quit right before the acceleration phase kicked in? Drop a comment. Say the number again and your age when you started, or just say, I see it now. Because seeing it is the first architectural decision. Everything else follows from there. Let me bring the 3-7-10 rule together completely. Rule number 1, the destruction phase. Years 1 through 3. The math works against your emotions. The gap between contribution and return feels insulting. This is not a signal to quit. This is the price of entry. Every person who built irreversible wealth paid it. Every person who didn't, quit here. Rule number 2, the acceleration phase. Years 3 through 7, the engine starts. Compounding begins to compound itself. This phase requires the same discipline as phase 1. But now the danger is interrupting something that's finally working. Don't touch it. Don't shift it. Let it run. Rule number 3, the invisible multiplier. It's active the entire time, but you can't see it on a statement. Every dollar you protect in phase 1 is worth 2 to 4 times more than the same dollar invested 5 years later. The multiplier is the entire argument for staying. It doesn't show up until the end, but it's being built right now. Rule number 4, the 10-year threshold, the line where compounding becomes self-sustaining, where your money earns more in a year than your contributions, where the architecture runs without you. This is where irreversible wealth begins. Not at retirement, not at some future date. At year 10 of a structure built with intention. 4 rules, 1 timeline, and the only variable that determines which side of it you end up on is whether you understood the phase you were in before you decided to quit. Irreversible wealth is not built by the smartest people. It's built by the people who stayed. Let me give you something you can use right now. 5 questions. Answer honestly. 1. Do you know exactly which phase of the 3-7-10 rule you're currently in? 2. In the last 12 months, have you made any changes to your investment strategy based on how your balance felt rather than how your architecture was designed? 3. Do you know what your invisible multiplier is worth right now? The actual dollar value of staying in for the next 10 years versus stopping today? 4. Have you ever quit a savings or investment strategy before reaching year 3? 5. Does your current financial structure have a 10-year threshold, a point at which it becomes self-sustaining? Or are you managing it month by month with no architectural endpoint? If you answered no to 3 or more of those questions, you are not behind on wealth. You are behind on architecture. The money is secondary. The structure is everything. Screenshot this. Come back to it in 6 months. These 5 questions will tell you more about your financial trajectory than any account balance ever will. Here's what I want you to take from this. You don't need more time. You need better architecture. The destruction phase is not failure. It is construction. The acceleration phase is not luck. It is the structure working. The invisible multiplier is not magic. It is math. On a timeline most people never reach because they quit before they understood what they were building. And the 10-year threshold is not a reward. It is the inevitable outcome of a structure that was built with intention and protected through every phase that tried to convince you it wasn't working. Most people don't fail at wealth because they lack money. They fail because they lack a map. Now you have one. Not more time. Better architecture. Build it with intention. And wealth becomes irreversible. That's it. If this breakdown brought you clarity, I highly recommend watching my next video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Also, feel free to leave your comment below, especially if this video made you think differently. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.